Howdy guys, figured since I kind of been MIA the last 2 or 3 weeks on YouTube making videos just because I was busy getting harvest done and didn't really get any videos made, I figured as good a time as any to make a harvest recap video. We got done about a week ago, a little under a week ago, last Tuesday. And with holidays and stuff, I just hadn't had time to make a video, and really hadn't done anything interesting besides sit in the R65 and pick corn for the last few weeks, and that is the truth of it. Honestly, decided with the way the weather was and things like that, it was just time to get done. Didn't really run any of the old combines anymore this year, unfortunately, so no video there. I do apologize, just swamped with kids and family and a lot of other stuff going on, and we just needed to be done before Christmas, which I was done before Christmas, thankfully. But I figured we'd kind of recap how things went. Honestly, yields were good. Beans were excellent. I had some of my best dryland beans that I have ever harvested, which is amazing. And I actually could have won the yield contest in Northwest Kansas with some of my dryland beans. Just didn't know I needed to enter. Corn, I would say, was average, is probably the best way to put that. Really didn't have anything real remarkable. Had some poor yields on some fields, some pretty good dryland yields on some fields, and some just real average stuff, so it kind of just comes out as a wash. Irrigated yields were kind of the same way, just they were good, but nothing outstanding to report on there. Milo, we were a little bit above average, I would say, for what Milo is around here, but really no complaints. It was nice to just have good crops in general, because the last 2 or 3 years have pretty much been disasters one way or another. Most of the machines did really well. Have to work on the old Massey's, both of them a little bit here before next year, but that's just normal old combine things. Early or late in November, I bought this A&L grain cart on auction time. It was $700. I think with buyer's premium and tax or whatever, I think I had $753 in it or something like that. Had new flighting put in it, or the flighting in it had all been redone and resurfaced, and the vertical auger tube had been replaced, and the floor had been relined up underneath. And I'd kind of been looking for a good smaller cart to run with my older combines, and this thing really just came in clutch. It was over near Superior, Nebraska. Easy pull home behind the pickup at 50 mile an hour with good tires. I just put it straight to work, and it worked great. 1206 handled it pretty okay. It would be better on the 1370, and the Kinze needs to go on the Magnum next year. But yeah, 1206 did fine. It starts hard in the cold. Does not like to start when it's 13 degrees. 1370 in the Kinze cart. Really, I need to pull all the augers out of this Kinze. We need to get them all redone. We need to redo the floor, put all new bearings and everything. Pretty much go through that whole cart. It's moved a hell of a lot of corn, and that's just how it goes. Case, last week with a day of harvest left to go, I broke the throttle cable on, so that's annoying. I think the old cable just got gummed up and it was frozen. I went to pull on it and it just broke off. That is how it goes, but other than that, case is good. Been using the hell out of it. Oh, my cat's chasing a rabbit. We'll get it fixed up and it'll keep working. Kinze cart, we have a new tarp for it too. Need to replace all the bows. It's a well-used old cart. It's like a 1982 model Kinze that we've had a long time. The 860 here, old girl needs some love. I should really think about replacing a few walkers in it that are a little loose and starting to crack out. And I actually need to replace the electric header clutch. If that makes sense. This quit working on me. Oh, right here in this field, actually. The clutch quit engaging. I had it bypassed with a pin that goes in right here, and somehow it sheared that pin off. And then, and then the clutch wasn't working. And so I need to get that all apart and figure out what the hell's going on there, because something is not working right. And kind of a problem for another day. I figured it was just time to give up on running the old 860 for the year and make it a problem for later. But still a good old combine. Just, I don't know, she's getting old and tired, getting thin everywhere. It's not going anywhere. We will fix it up and keep using it. Just, it was one of those things I was busy enough to that I didn't have time to fix everything on I needed to. So we went on with life there. R65 worked really good all year. Had some header belt problems, or not header belt, hydro belt problems along the way. I had a idler, the idler arm, the bushings went out in, and it was causing some belt alignment issues. And I ended up ruining this belt here a couple times. It was this arm here the bushings went out of. Once we got that all replaced and everything, we were good to go. But yeah, just one of them deals. And it's actually gotten to where it's really, really hard starting too. And I have a leak from something today. That's nice. I'll have to look into that more. Smells like antifreeze, so I might have just a pinhole in a line. But this thing got to be where it's really hard starting. That caps injection pump up there is the shits. We might actually have to have that overhauled before next year, but I'm not looking into that today. And they make some guys have talked about converting that to P pump too, but I'll have to do some more digging there. Other than that, really didn't have very many problems with this combine. It's pretty good. Had to replace U-joint up in the grain tank and the level auger housing. Just, you know, stuff. It's old combine. It's just how she goes. Got a leak here too I need to figure out from hydraulics. Then I lost the this rubber. Should have been a strap that came over right here, metal strap, and it broke off, and I lost this nut here, and this walked off with like 2 acres left to harvest. So I got it all put back together and put nuts on and finished. We'll replace that rubber bushing on the shoe and be fine there. But really worked good. Yield monitoring stuff worked good all year. Corn head, 12-row corn head was awesome. Saved me a lot of time. But I do need to replace a snout now. I had one catch in a gopher hole with 2 days or 2 or 3 days less of harvest left, and I didn't care and kept right on and running. But love this corn head. Really still need to find an 8-row to do irrigated with, and so I can put it on that too. N6. I have no complaints about this thing. I know people hate them, but it was awesome all year for me. Couple little minor things. The reel up down quit working, so I just got it where I wanted and left it the hell alone. And I need to figure out why my reel speed doesn't work right as well. But pretty minor. We put a whole new cab interior in it. That was great. I have a ton of belts and stuff ordered for this thing and spare bearings just in case I need them before next year. But shouldn't need much. The only real problems we had during harvest, breakdown or time lost, was we plugged the chopper a couple times when conditions were tough. Partially I think because I had the chopper in the wrong speed, in low speed. Yeah, I had the chopper in low speed, so I think when it was in low, it just wasn't ejecting fast enough. And once I'd fixed that and got it in high, we never had problems with it anymore. But we plugged that chopper good a couple times. Whoops. Lesson learned there. And then this idler pulley, the bearing went out on it. And I was able to get one in Norton for 17 bucks and keep right on rolling. But I just took the drive off that one day and ran without a spreader. Pretty minor. This thing was great. It truly was a good investment, this old N6, just to put somebody in. I got half a dozen different people run this combine this year. And I think total it did around 300 acres, which isn't 25% of what we harvest a year, but that's still less I had to put through an R65, which was awesome. And be able to run 2 machines at most days in Milo was great. Little Massey 300 combine. I had it out some. I need to find a new sieve. The one on it's kind of just falling apart from age. And then I have a gear I need to replace on the unloading auger drive sometime. You know, just it's your typical old machinery. But we survived pretty cleanly. No major catastrophes. The biggest downtime I had was waiting on a belt one day and waiting on an ejector line another. So that's pretty damn good for us. But I'm going to call it a pretty successful year. Definitely need to think about if yields are good next year, how to get done a little bit sooner. But that's just how it goes when most days there's only 2 of us out here. It's hard to get things done. So, who cares? Yields were good. Prices of corn and beans and milo aren't that great, but what are you going to do? I guess we get disaster relief payments. Hadn't planned on that. I never plan on government payments. So, cool that we got it, I guess, but whatever. It's a pretty good year, but that's it for harvest stuff for the year. Unless I randomly have to help harvest wheat that's not ours, because I don't have any wheat that's going to seed. Any wheat we drill to be for forage. But I guess biggest thing here is I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, and should have another new video after the new year. We're picking up 4 tractors next week, so I'm gonna calling in some help on that deal. It's gonna be something. Those tractors have been parked a while. I think we'll only make one of them try to make one of them run there that day, but that's kind of the plan. But that'll be it for this one, guys. You guys have a good one. I am on all the social medias as at TMontyIH. I am getting ready to add a bunch of inventory of toys to my website, which is territorialtrading.com. So take a look at that if you like farm toys. Everybody take care. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.